Hello, this is Hervé from Comic Book Bin, filling you in since 2002. Today, I'm going to be looking at an X-Men, Angel. He's one of my favorite X-Men. This is probably the ultimate X-Men action figure that we've had from Hasbro and the Marvel Legend line. I've had other Angels before. The Angel I had was from Toy Biz. The wings were open and fully sculpted. You couldn't do anything with them. They were nothing like many of the Hawkman action figures I've had, like the first DC Direct Hawkman from 1999, 2000. This Angel is the descendant of that old Hawkman and Hawkgirl set with beautiful wings that are fully articulated and very useful. The build for this figure is the Vulcan action figure, but modified tremendously to account for the wings. I don't mind that at all. I'm gonna be doing a full review of Angel. He's one of the classic X-Men characters, not the most popular, but one of the early ones. And this is a beautiful figure. I never got a chance to get around reviewing it, so I'm gonna be trying to do that today. In the famous words of Professor Charles X. Xavier's, to me, my X-Men, Angel, Cyclops. This, I will say, is the best Angel action figure that I've ever had. It's pretty easy since I've only had two Angel action figures in the past. Well, this one and the Toy Biz version, which had open wings that could not close. The sculpt on this one is much better. It uses the Vulcan sculpt, a modified version of a Vulcan sculpt, which means there is no butterfly articulation here in the area of the armpit. And obviously, you have to peg the wings on the back here. I'm not gonna remove them. I've already installed them, so I'm not gonna play with that. But everything else with Angel is just right. He has a fully articulated wing with 3 levels of articulation here. You can flip them on one another so they can extend very far, just like a real bird in flight. When extended, his wings are pretty large. I would say each wing is over 1 figure tall, so that's over 6 inches, so that's probably around 14 inches tall in terms of wingspan. That's very good. And the best part about Angel, unlike many characters with wings, is that without having to use the wings themselves as a base, he can stand on his own. This is pretty rare. It means that the way that the Hasbro team designed this toy, they've purposely made it not too top heavy, just able to distribute his own weight and not have to use even an action figure stand for him to stand on his own. This is a Bronze Age version of Angel. There were several versions of this costume in red and in blue. And then when he became Archangel, he had a version of this suit which was, I believe, blue or red, I'm not sure. But this version of the suit with the white stripe in the middle and the face covering is a classic Angel trope. And obviously with his angel symbol here on his chest. He comes with different sets of hands, fist and open hands, grasping hands. Because it's the Vulcan sculpt, everything down below is about the same. So he can't really open his legs too much. He can't do a real Van Damme. But then this is normal for most Marvel Legend action figures. His articulations are a little bit stiff, but good enough. He doesn't come on an action figure stand or a flight pod or something like that. That would have been nice to pause him in mid-air flying, but I'll find one and I'll just pause him like that. It's a very good figure. I really like it. He looks bright, and I can see Hasbro reusing this sculpt for several other action figures in the future with wings. That's a good thing. He has double articulation at the elbows. They're all pinless, including his legs are also pinless. Can twist his waist. The articulation on his head is good enough. Not that great, but good enough. He can, though, extend pretty far in terms of flight. So if he's flying like that, it's gonna get a neck backache, but good enough. I've noticed that whenever I do this, the head tends to flip around. This is the other angel head. Now I don't like this one as much, but let's try it on. Okay, this one looks a bit more avian. It's like a beak here. So Angel is a classic X-Men character, one of the original X-Men, along with Scott, Cyclops. He's not the most popular Marvel character, but he's a classic character nonetheless. It's a very good sculpt, and I'm glad that they made this version of Angel and that he's released. The old Toy Biz version was the same price as every other figure in its wave. This one is a bit more expensive, but I've seen it at stores, and I encourage you to get it if you really like Angel and you like X-Men characters. This is really the best Angel action figure ever. I don't believe they've ever made an Angel so good, so worth collecting. Now I had almost stopped collecting Marvel Legend to focus only on G.I. Joe and related brands, but this Angel was just too good to pass out. Can you imagine Nemesis Enforcer with wings like that? That'd be great. Of course he fits with Cyclops, about the same height. Now, the X-Men figures don't always have the same kind of scale, so it can be problematic, but in case of those two characters here, they're about the same height here. It doesn't look like that in camera, but Angel is a little bit taller than Cyclops. Maybe if I put them at the same, he's really taller than Cyclops. If I were to adjust a little bit the camera, you would see it better. So, this is Angel. I don't have much to say. He can flap his wings also. It's just a good figure overall. I encourage you to get it before it's sold out. Of course, we know that Marvel will release, well, I should say Hasbro will release this toy again. A sculpt like that, you know that they're gonna have to remake it later. They can't just leave it like that. It's Hasbro. If they spend money on tooling, they have to make it back with countless versions of Angel. I'm even surprised that they release the right version of Angel right off the bat, as opposed to another version of Angel. They could have given us like Blue Angel, Blue Skin Angel with regular wings first. They did not. They just gave us the classic Angel character. If they ever want to do the classic X-Men, the original team in black and yellow, they can also use the same wings. This is Hervé from Comic Book Bin, filling you in since 2002. Like and subscribe.